What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of The Long Dark, in which I probably kill off yet another wannabe survivor. I don't think this guy is long for this world, but it's another 25 minutes of shooting, looting, and polluting the block with our bad self, I guess. I don't know. It's 8:30. Maybe I can go back outside and actually accomplish something right now. There's no hunting knife, which is an issue. So until we can find ourselves a hunting knife, this gun is going to be purely for defensive purposes. Sometimes I don't know what that deer's up to. That deer might be a sociopath or a psychopath or something. He might be running around. He's got it, like, the deer's got a knife. He's got it like wedged in between his hoof. He's like, The mental image there was a lot funnier than after I described it to you. So hopefully your mental image was as funny as mine was. That is the worst supply of firewood I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, we really need to find ourselves a hunting knife. If we can't get our hands on a hunting knife, I think that this is going to be a little bit of a short trip. So as per usual, unfortunately, if you're hearing like a lot of banging and booming in the microphone, my cat has decided to come in the room and he's demanding attention. Typically, I record with the door shut and I just let him, hey, stop that. There we go. So there we go. I gotta like push him away. He likes to rub on the mic stand in the middle of episodes because they find that you are all getting attention, and my cats can't stand it when the Nerdcastle is getting attention and they are not getting attention. In fact, last night I was playing. I've been trying a lot of new things lately. I've been really, I've been getting outside my box and I've been playing a lot of games that I normally don't play. Like I subscribed to WildStar for a little bit. I'm subscribed to Eve. Basically, I'm getting back into MMOs and just playing around with them. It's only 6:30. Like, I think we could make it. Only took us like an hour and a half to get here. I really think if this fog would go away, we could make it back to the other place before anything else goes wrong. But oh, I missed a reclaimed wood. How did I do that? Well, that was bad of me. How nubbish. How incredibly nubbish. 9 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's like 45 degrees in here or something. It's cold, but it's not that cold. Shoot the window to make it colder. I think we'll just chill for a little bit and wait and see whether or not the fog sort of pisses off. It's getting dark. It's definitely getting darker right now, but I mean, I suppose we could take a walk and try and find that body that's over here on the right-hand side. That's a pretty large walk for this point in the day when our fatigue is hovering pretty dangerously high. I think our best bet is probably just to eat some food, get our hunger down slightly, rest for the night, and strike out in the morning with kind of a fresh outlook on life, because at the moment our outlook is not so fresh. It's mostly frigid. So it's got the F and the R in common, but it's not fresh. And now we're exhausted. So yeah, that's what I was concerned about is as we go out here, obviously we were redlining it pretty close with regards to the durability of our legs and feeties and our ability to pay attention. So I think that our character's pretty tired at the moment. If you go down that way, there's always a dead body down at the end with a bunch of crows. I showed it in one of my earlier episodes, but let's just head back to the cabin. We're not going to get anything done right now, and there's no sense muling over wasted time, I guess. That's a great song, by the way. If you've never heard Ed Guy, Wasted Time, that is a fantastic heavy metal track. I toured with Ed Guy. Well, I didn't tour with them. I played a couple shows with them. Wasn't a fan, though. They were kind of dicks. To be honest, they were a bit much for me. Like, some people take the whole I'm a 1980s rock star thing a little too far because it is not the 1980s. And you're not that big of a rock star. Let's think about this just in terms of album sales. You're a big deal in the heavy metal genre, but in the United States, heavy metal is basically dead. I mean, there is no heavy metal genre in the United States. There's like loose assortments, and this is from somebody I used to tour in a heavy metal band. And I think that's the biggest problem with trying to make a heavy metal band in the United States is just that there's no audience for it. I mean, for all of Sacramento and all of our promoting, we would maybe get, on a really, really good night, 250 people at one of the mid-sized clubs over there. And we were pretty big on the scene. I mean, I think I can think of only like one or two other bands that were bigger than us, and we hung out with them. And so typically we opened for them or they opened for us, and we alternated back and forth. And so you really had like the biggest metal bands in Sacramento and the East Bay and whatnot all coming together trying to pool their audiences. And I don't know, I think metal's dead in the United States. In Europe, you guys all seem to have a great metal scene with like Wacken and everything else. They've got some fantastic festivals out there, but my experience in the industry was just that it's dead. It's totally and completely dead. We might want to salvage some wood, maybe. I mean, it's not too bad of an idea. Let's forage for a couple hours, see what we can find. Hopefully I don't die of thirst. I didn't think about that. 3 reclaimed wood. Good. That's really fantastic. We're starving and exhausted, so I'm just going to eat through some of our supplies that we brought with us. I think we are going to be heavily reliant on finding a hunting knife soon. I can't see worth ass right now. Let's go with the beef jerky. And then drink some of our water, possibly. Yeah, let's drink our water. We'll save the sodas for later when it's not so paramount that... Like, if we ever find ourselves in a bad situation where we need hunger and we need liquid, it's always nice to have sodas around because they nail both of those things down. I'm going to eat the peanut butter right now. I don't think there's any reason not to. So I'll just eat the peanut butter and let's crash for a little while. It looks like it is... Actually, it's only you. Okay, so it's only... What's the current time? I could see it back there, but the numbers were a little bit small for me. And when the numbers get small, my dyslexia acts up. So we've got 9:40 right now. I think that... I don't even know if that's a thing that can happen with it, but I don't know. I have trouble with small numbers. I find that they jump around on me. Like this would be like, oh, 826 an hour every now and again. I was like, no! Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me right now. What can I do with some of this stuff? I guess this is a reasonably decent time to just sit in the darkness and come up with what the best gear is that we're carrying along with us. So we got our mittens. Our quality coat's still hanging tight. A thin wool sweater is what we're wearing. The fleece is not actually that much better. It's pretty terrible, in fact. So I guess I'll just save the fleece for later. Got wool socks, so I'll throw those on my feet. Got the toque. Is this one better than the other? It is. So let's throw that toque on since it's a lot nicer. We've got... Do we have an extra pair of jeans? No, we don't. What I may do right now is let's go ahead and harvest. I'm going to go ahead and craft up some tinder plugs while we're here. And so we'll harvest all the tinder plugs, and that should get us... I'm not going to go to bed till like midnight because there's really no point. You don't want to sleep too long because you'll die of thirst. And so... The thirst thing is like you die of thirst in between now and waking up in the morning. I think there's a lot of things that need to be sort of tailored down in this game, and a lot like the cold needs to be really... You can go hypothermic really fast. I think the cold needs to be embellished a little bit, and just about everything else needs to be toned down slightly. What else do we have? We got a fleece sweater. I could rip up the fleece, but that only gives me one cloth. Let's go ahead and craft that into tinder plugs. And so that's another 6. So I think right now we're sitting on top of a lot of tinder plugs. A metric ass ton of tinder plugs. This toque right here, we'll go ahead and harvest that. Get the cloth out of it so that we can repair some of our other gear if we need to. There's no better time than now to do some of this stuff, so while you've got a little bit of downtime, go for it. I'm going to get rid of the down ski jacket. We're just going to cut that up right this second so that we can get some cloth out of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow us to keep any of the padding or anything so that we could actually reinforce some of our other gear and make it even better, like upgrades with like star next to the name or something, but oh well. The fleece sweater we'll get rid of because it's not very good, and we'll try and repair some stuff later. I do think we have a sewing kit already, so that's one thing that we don't have to worry about. I just want to make sure that a lot of the little things that tend to spiral on me when I play this game are handled at this point. Wow, it's taken us that many calories. My god. Okay, well, can't be helped. It can't be helped. So let's not complain or worry about things that we can't do anything about. We'll just sort of live within the confines of their restrictions. Eat that, get ourselves up to maybe like 1,500 calories. And then we'll be ready for the hike back on the next day. There's a little bit of food left at our other locations, so we might be alright. And let's sleep this thing off. It's midnight. We're going to go till... Actually, what's our thirst at? That's always the thing I gotta look at before I go to sleep. Let's drink a Summit soda. Hopefully it's not caffeinated, otherwise we'll never sleep. I have to be careful about that. I really have to be careful about that, because sometimes I'll sit down and be like, I'm gonna drink a Surge at 4 in the morning. And I'm like, well, there went sleeping. Let's go ahead and we're gonna rest for 7 hours. We'll get up in the morning, and we should be ready to tackle the new day. 7 o'clock rolls around because it is quite round and it rolls very well. Our fatigue is looking okay. Our fatigue's looking alright. Our hunger's pretty high. So for right now, I think I'll probably just have a soda for breakfast if we have one. I know we have a grape soda around here, right? There it is. Grape soda for breakfast. Why not? I'm not a big fan of grape soda. I love orange soda. Grape soda's alright, although I don't really like grape flavored things aside from like grape swishers. Grape swisher sweets are like one of the greatest things ever invented. I suppose we could rest for another couple hours. I don't see any reason not to. We might as well get our fatigue down as low as possible. I'm not an early riser. Anyways, I hate getting up early in the morning. Anything before 10 o'clock just doesn't exist to me. It's not a thing. Alright, so our thirst actually jumped up quite a bit right there. More than I expected it to. But we got a lot of stuff out of this place, and so that's going to sort of craft our expectations for the future. We've got the gun. At least we can defend ourselves. We can't harvest anything right now, but actually, did I check the chair? Sometimes the knife is stuck in a wall or a chair over here. I don't know if I checked it. No. Okay. I think we'll be alright. Let's go, and we're going to head back to our main base camp, I think. And how cold is it right now? It's -9. Unfortunately, not a great place to be at with regards to the temperature. Simultaneously, though, it could be a lot worse. We could be dealing with fog banks. We could be dealing with snowstorms. I'm actually going to hike around a little bit because the dead bodies tend to be a really, really good bet for finding yourself a hunting knife. And since we know where one is, I'm just going to explore this area a little bit. I don't know what's out here. I don't know what's going to be useful, but I'd like to find a hunting knife as soon as possible because hunger is going to be just a non-stop issue for us until we find one. We may not find one. That is the other thing that we have to deal with, is that somewhere down the line we may not find one. And if we don't, how do we survive then? And I think that one of the problems that I'm finding with this game is that it is just way too reliant on you finding certain linchpin items that otherwise you cannot survive the long term without. For example, the gun and the knife. If you don't get a gun and you don't get a knife, I would say that your survival prospects are probably limited to just a couple of days. You are more than likely not gonna make it. Here's the dead body over here. But if somebody wants to prove me wrong and be like, oh yeah, I've totally survived with no knife and no gun for more than 5 days, by all means, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I love hearing your comments about how you personally have survived under the auspices of the game systems. I'm going to eat the candy bar right now. Keep our calories nice and positive. We're pretty hungry at the moment, but since the hunger system doesn't work the way that real life hunger does, where it's more of a sensation than anything, you just gotta get rid of that nasty empty pit feeling in your stomach. And you can do that by eating 5 or 6 peanuts if you really are in a situation where you're desperate. Although the thing that you do want to with peanuts, they are flammable. There's a number of survival tips that a lot of people have brought up in the comments of some of the videos, and I do appreciate people contributing to the conversation. Obviously, there are more techniques than I can get to within the confines of any episode per se, but well, I guess that's not a per se situation, but there are a lot of things that you can do in a survival situation that are really actually intelligent. Like you can burn peanuts because they're very oily. They tend to burn incredibly easily. What is this over here? Hunger's alright. Our cold's not so bad, so I think we can still wander around a bit. I think we're just following the edges of this valley. I know we're doing a bit of exploration right now, but seems alright. I'd love to be able to find an axe or a hatchet too and be able to harvest trees a little bit better so that if you have a hatchet in 1 hour, you can get all kinds of wood out of the forest, and that would sort of be another one of those linchpin items you needed to find in order to survive. As of right now, though, in the early access, the game is very compelling. I can't wait to see what they bring up next with regards to gameplay mechanics and so on. I think that the game definitely has an open field in front of it right now with the basic mechanics that they have in play to be an incredible game in the future at some point. And as it stands right now, it's already a good game. It needs some balance tweaks, and it needs some things to be moved around and sort of fiddled with. A tunnel collapse. It looks like I can climb up this pole right here. I don't know if there's anything up here to be had or to be found, but I've never seen the tunnel collapse, so hopefully I haven't got myself stuck here. We do have a wolf around us somewhere, but I'm not worried about it. We got a dead guy over here in the snowbank. Let's see if he's got anything for us.
Don't know what he needs this anymore.
I'd also like to see lesser knives and things added to the game. So for example, instead of just a hunting knife, I would love to see a situation in which you have a hunting knife and a generic pocket knife and just some other things where they degrade a little bit faster, like a Leatherman, for example, is one of the greatest tools that you can possibly have in a survival situation. If you have a Leatherman, then you are in really, really good shape. A multi-tool is the stuff. I don't go anywhere without one, to be honest. I never go camping without a multi-tool. I have to have one. What is this? A metal container? A basic wool hat. Okay, well, it's better than the toque that we're wearing. Is there anything in here? Hunger's looking a little bit off at the moment. Can I travel in between those two carts? I don't think I've ever come down this way. If you look, we're at the end of the railroad tracks, so our house is right down there. We've got plenty of time for exploration and funsies. Can I cross over to that one over there? Is that something that's even possible? Or did they put a clipping plane right here? Looks like the clipping plane is the answer, and so we're not going to be able to get over there. We lost 8%? That's like a 6-foot drop. Are you serious right now? Yeah, fall damage needs to be looked at too. That's redonkulous right there. Hopping down off the back of a cart like that is not gonna break your legs. I think you should go through a risk of landing wrong though. I think it should be RNG. If you jump off anything higher than 5 feet, you run the risk of turning an ankle, which I think is sort of an interesting thing that'll force people to think about whether they truly want to take the fast way around or if they want to just kind of go the long way and not take any risks. Because small injuries like that do have a very real...
That hurts a lot.
Oh. I guess I have a sprained ankle. I can no longer run. I don't know when a sprained ankle heals. Can I do anything with it? A sprained ankle, I can take painkillers. And 4 hours rest.
Getting weak.
Okay, so 4 hours of rest and some painkillers are how we deal with that. We'll deal with it tonight. I'm not going to try and force it out right now. Our food supply is looking really, really bad. Until we find a knife, I think we are probably going to die. We do have clothing, though, and so we can starve over the long term. I mean, starvation, I think, only takes your condition down to 20%. It just puts us in the danger zone, so if anything goes wrong, we are very, very close to dying. There should be a dead body over here somewhere. Do I have painkillers on me right now? Let's find out. I don't, in fact, have painkillers on me. It's kind of mind-blowing, actually. Alright, well, 4 hours rest will have to do it later on. Just kind of chill for a little bit. I sprained both my ankles at once one time when I jumped off a roof for a skate video, and I just didn't hit it right. I'm willing to bet the video probably still exists somewhere, and people probably make... I think we already looted that guy over there. I'm sure that it probably exists somewhere, and my cousins would be more than happy to upload it to make me look foolish, because it was really a bad choice. Bad decision. The skate video was going to be awesome, but I don't know. I didn't think about the gutter. That's the problem. Is that along the outside of the buildings, you've got the gutter flashings, and I didn't realize that there was gutter flashings because they weren't visible, and I didn't really scout it out very well enough. I didn't give it a good enough look, to be frank about it. I just didn't scout it out enough. Yay! I guess. What are you running from? Every time deer run by me, it reminds me of I Am Legend. I'm just like, oh god, he's running from snow vampires. He's running from snampires. Canadian snampires. I know it's smarts, but we're going to have to go back to the house for you to feel better. 4 hours rest is a lot, too, and we could be doing other things. Damn, without a knife, we're stuck. Well, the game doesn't allow you to make rudimentary cutting tools out of anything either. Let's go back in here and we'll kind of have to draw on our supplies for right now until we can find a knife. We have no other choice. Hunger's looking okay. Or, I'm sorry, fatigue is looking okay. So there's our supplies right there. This is what we got. So we might consider... Let's take the 4 hours rest right now rather than later. We have to do both of those. You have to take painkillers and rest. I don't think we have painkillers, so we might be stuck with a sprained ankle for a while. Ew. I don't think I dropped any of my loot anywhere, though. Like, I thought we had all kinds of stuff. I think maybe I just thought we picked up painkillers because we had... Yeah, unfortunately... Oh well. We'll give it a rest in a little bit and we'll see if that works. And if it doesn't, then I guess we'll just have to live with the fact that we're a little bit crippled at the moment. I'm gonna run out, and before this day is over, I do think we should probably spend some time... Oh good, a fog bank rolled in within the 10 seconds I was gone. Alright, so another fog bank to be dealt with. I'm gonna head off down this way because I don't see any reason not to. We've got way too many hours left in the day to really waste it, but I suppose I'll just hobble on over there. It's a little bit lame that we have to do this in slow-mo mode, but I suppose it forces me to resist using all my calories up on the plus side. Not to worry about our caloric count tanking out because I'm sprinting everywhere. Got about 5-10 minutes left in the episode. I think we can make it down to here. Maybe shoot a couple wolves. Make sure that they're out of the way. We might be able to find some first aid. I really don't want to go to the dam right now, but it is a possibility. We could go to the dam. I don't remember where it is. I think it's off in that direction somewhere. We haven't seen any wolves on this one except for out at the lake, which is another thing that sort of got me worried. I feel like they're probably going to be massed around like a central location way over here, like 50 wolves just sitting around waiting for us.
Hurts a bit, but I'll make it.
We're only at 89% condition, so this is really just kind of a debuff. It's not even... It's not a real wound. It's just something that... Oh, we had minus 666 calories. The devil's calories. We had to go eat some angel food cake. Balance it out a little bit. I love angel food cake, but I also love devil's food cake. I like both. They are both fantastic. I will... Actually, I'll probably take angel food cake over the other because... I don't know, there's something about a light and fluffy cake. A light, fluffy, moist cake that I just really like. It's pleasant. It's all around pleasant. They rebuilt... There's a supermarket near my house, and they rebuilt it recently. They just renovated it. And from what I can tell, they renovated it just to turn it into like a faux Bevmo. Like, there's nothing else new there. In fact, it looks like they've made certain areas smaller, like their spice areas, or for example, their refrigerated goods section has grown enormous. I'm probably just going to put him down now. There we go. Down he goes. We'll come back for this body later since the game won't let us haul bodies out. I would throw it up on my shoulders. Worst case scenario is we can't eat raw food, but as we saw last time, that was pretty fatal. It was pretty much 100% fatal. It wasn't pretty fatal, it was ugly fatal. Jump in here and see if we can find some painkillers because it's our only hope. There's a first aid kit that's over on the other side of the train too. Some basic boots. A knife would be great as well. A Summit Soda works. Scrap metal. Little hiccup right there. I apologize. A wool scarf. Some salty crackers. Those will keep us going for another little bit. I do want to watch out for wolves because they have the tendency to like glitch through walls sometimes and kill you, which can be a frustration if you're not used to it.
From starvation.
Oh my. I don't know if my mouse is dying or something, but an energy bar. This guy looks like he needs more than energy. He's gonna need something. He needs some jumper cables or something. That guy's done for. Well, so far no good.
What have we here?
I was really, really hoping we would get a knife over here. Fortunately, we just didn't get it. We've got a little bit of thirst. We're gonna have hunger really, really soon. And if we get too cold, this is gonna get ugly real fast, so...
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Let's go ahead and drink that, because that'll help us out with our thirst for a little bit. Okay, so our thirst is good. That offset our calories a little bit. Yeah. Drop him real fast. We got enough rounds right now to where I'm not concerned about ammo expenditures. I guess I'll walk off this way a little bit and we'll just kind of see what's around, and then I'll probably end the episode once we get down here because I don't want to make you all suffer through the lame-ass walk back to our base, but I'll have to make that at some point too, so just hang out here for a bit. If we can find our way to the dam, I think we can probably do a decent job of getting by. I think it's out by the deer tower, though. I seem to remember it being near to a deer tower. I've only been to the dam once or twice because it's a bit of a death trap. There's a bunch of wolves inside of it that can be really troublesome. They come at you like one at a time, but that was actually one of my first deaths, is that I ran into it's not the Hoover Dam. I ran into a dam, and unfortunately there was a damn wolf inside the dam, and it bit my damn face off. And so really damming the situation in its entirety. It might be off that way. I started right next to the dam one time, but I couldn't tell you. Feels like -5, so we're not freezing yet. I should probably throw on some of that stuff we just picked up. Let's go clothing, and we'll go with the wool hat. Actually, our toque is better. Let's go with the toque. Go with the scarf. Winter coat is wearing down, so that's something we got to keep an eye on. Now it's another degree. It's another degree of protection from the nastiness of nature. And nature is really nasty in this game. It is not pleased with us. I don't know what we did to Mother Nature, but it is just taking it out on us. It's taking it out and we're taking it in. Seems to be the story of my life right now. Sprained ass ankle, being attacked by wolves everywhere. At least we got a gun. It could be a lot worse. The bodies will freeze, so those should be able to hold for a while. I just want to check this camp down here because I don't think we've ever actually inspected this area in its entirety. I think we came down here and then we bailed out a little bit earlier because it just seemed like this was not a place for us. Is that actually increasing? I think it's holding steady. I think we should be okay. Our condition will drop down to 70-ish, 60-ish maybe, but that's not bad. I mean, we spent like the entire last playthrough at 35-ish. We should be okay. Everything should be fine. And so, once again, like my weekends at the Y, I'm finding myself surrounded by all sorts of aggressive-looking wood. What is that? It's not lootable, I guess. It must be a busted railroad track or something. I don't see any bodies around here or anything lootable. There's a deer over there. We're about to be fatigued as well, so problems on top of problems. I'm not stoked about running around in this playthrough. Yeah, it's just being... I'm not really happy about being crippled the whole time, so let me know what you think. I mean, we can play it out, but there's no bodies over there. We're not even cold anymore. Oh, that's because the temperature is going up. Good. I'm glad. We got plenty of time to explore and not a whole lot of time to waste on just like dumb shit like the air being too cold for us to succeed. We got plenty of time left in the day. I mean, yeah, it's only 12:30. I mean, there's a whole lot of daylight left, and using your time appropriately is a very fundamental part of surviving. And so if we're just wasting days, that means we're using up calories where we're not actually being productive or bringing anything back with us. And I can't have that. Of all the things I can't have in this game, that would be the one that I would like to avoid the most. I'm just going to follow the railroad tracks, I think, and we'll just kind of see where it will wind up. Plenty of hours, plenty of daylight, so let's just have ourselves a little walking adventure. Our calories are pretty bad, though. Oh, well. I'll leave it at starving for now. I like how we actually physically limp. If you look at the gun, our character is limping. He's like, ugh, ugh. A sprained ankle shouldn't be bad as long as you stay off of it. Of course, I'm not going to do that because I hate my own personal health. It's kind of like my doctor told me to not do like videos for 2 weeks or play video games for 2 weeks because of my carpal tunnel. I'm like, yeah, probably not going to do that. I'm not trying to be an asshole right now. I'm not trying to be one of those patients, but probably not going to happen. -3 right now. Actually, our cold is going up, so we could find ourselves beyond the pale here. It's weird because I sprained my ankle after I had jumped down off the thing. That's the weird part about it. I just want to see what's on the other side of this bridge, and then I'll cut off the episode and I'll walk back all by my lonesome to our home base. And then I'll probably resume the next morning or something if we survive that long. Our food supply is awful right now. Wish I knew. Actually, I think the dam might be over here. So we might be able to get inside and just make that work for right now. Let's go have a look. Pretty sure the dam is over here. Yeah, there it is. There's the dam. So let's go check out the... Actually, I'm going to check the cabin over here. Then we'll go into the dam because that's going to provide us with shelter. We can hang out in there for a little while. Concrete buildings and things that run underground have a standard temperature of like 65 degrees. So they can actually be quite warm by comparison to the outside so long as you have enough insulation. Doesn't look like there's anything over here. I personally would break it down for firewood, but I guess probably don't want to do that. It's 1 o'clock. Let's run inside. We're going to use that to get our cold meter down slightly so that I can make the run back to base. And we'll investigate this place in the next episode. At least we'll have done something new. Starting to get a better spatial recognition for where we are in the game, though, so that's good. As long as the fog isn't in. The fog is the big thing right now that really does not care about me at all. No dead bodies and nothing to loot down there. Back we go. I might cut this episode a little bit longer because I am interested in coming up in here. Let's have a look. The Carter Hydro Dam. I want that to be placed right there. And there are wolves in here, so you gotta watch out. There's a toque. And this is about to get really rowdy. I'm not trying to deceive you right now. This is gonna get really, really whack really, really fast.
Like an empty pit.
We got the pry bar, so we can break into all this stuff without too many issues. More antibiotics, some wool socks, a really good haul, in fact, a heavy wool sweater. And it's 93%.
I need to drop something.
Alright, let's put on the heavy wool sweater here. Alright, keep an eye out for wolves. I don't hear them. God, this is unnerving. For a number of reasons. Can we actually get in there? Oh, we can. Our cold should drop off really, really fast in here. Check the first aid kit for painkillers, maybe? No painkillers, but a little bit of food. Let's consider for a moment. We only have a little bit of water. I don't think there's any sense in really trying to force out. Let's just clear the place. Let's clear this place. If there was a wolf around, we should have heard it already. I mean, I've only been in here like twice, but they tend to make a racket, so I don't think I need this many toolkits. Water purification tablets. It's a little bit dark in here. But I'm scared to carry a lantern around with me. Because you may find yourself face to face with a furry friend much more rapidly than you'd like. Okay, so that pry bar, I totally missed that. I didn't even see it. Let's go through this stuff and see what we can find. We got nothing better to do, so let's see what we can have. The file cabinet was moderately lucrative for us. We do have our bedroll with us, so we could potentially sleep here if we really need to. If you want to play stuff like I'm doing right here, all you have to do is right click while you have the lantern out, and then you just got to find a place where you can put it. Which, in the case of this room, oh, it's got to be close to me, that's why. I guess I'll put it down right there. Is it just me, or does it seem like it's brighter when it's in our hand than when it's on the ground? Matches, accelerant. This might actually be
That'll come in handy.
A pretty good adventure for us. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to break the episode off right here. We'll continue scavenging in the next episode. My name is Splattercat. I will see you all in the next episode of The Long Dark. Take care out, everybody, and hi-do!